You need to be aware of the hazards and dangers your child might be um, exposed to in their environments. So I think if you have a healthy relationship with your child where your child communicates to you, you will know the dangers it's being exposed to. However, if you notice that the mood of the child, your child's mood has changed, the child has become very withdrawn, very silent, looks afraid, is not able to eat, is preoccupied, you need to be concerned. You need to know, you need to understand and know that something is happening in that child's life. And therefore, in very non-threatening ways, you need to talk to your child about this. If you have some concern you want to share with your child, I think it's important to tell them, look, I'm sensing something. I think something is going wrong. I'd like to know what it is. Would you like to tell me about it? So be talk to the child, as I said, in a very non-threatening way, and your body language should signal that you're available to them, for them to come, and for you, available, and you're willing to reach out to them, and therefore you are there for them. As a parent, your child is most important to you, and therefore you have to believe your child about this. At the same time, you have to tell your child you believe them, but the action you take can be based on your verification about it. However, usually your child is telling the truth. They cannot imagine situations like this unless they have gone through earlier abuse, and therefore they might have a tendency to talk about abuse, in very, they might have been, exposed to abuse earlier, in which case you need to take your child to a professional for professional help. If your child has come and told you that there is something going wrong, like, okay, your child is being abused, you need to take action. You need to protect your child from that person. And I'll tell you how. One example I had was of a child who was brought to me by an adult, and that adult told me that, this child is in some grave danger. He's talking a whole lot of things. Will you please talk? And the child turned round and told me that this was the person who was doing all kinds of things to him. So I had to tackle it. I had to tackle this whole matter. Well, if your child is in a threatening environment, you have to remove that threat. You have to stop it. And sometimes, yes, it could be a very delicate matter, because as I said earlier, it could be a well-known friend, it could be a music teacher, it could be some relative in your family, but you have to do something. Your child is the most important person to you. I want to tell you that at this point. You have to do something.